Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Too Critical Podcast, episode 73, Cobblepot All Along. I'm Thomas, that's Rob, reporting live from his private bunker somewhere in parts unknown in New Hampshire. I see they got all the concrete poured, Rob. You ready for November? Ready for Election Day?
Just waiting on Spam and canned beans.
Oh, perfect. Well, hopefully it gets here before the union strike and they shut down all the ports.
One day later.
Dock workers are on strike. Tens of thousands of union members walked off the job at midnight at major ports along the East Coast and the Gulf of Mexico.
Boy, do I hate being right all the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week you got a twofer. Got a twofer this episode. We're going to talk about the first two episodes of Agatha All Along and the first two episodes of The Penguin. So Rob and I have watched both of them, and we're here to dissect, divulge, diverge, what else?
Economy.
What?
So the one thing I'm actually really happy about, this is
nobody cares. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Too Critical Podcast, episode 73. It was Cobblepot All Along. This week, we are taking a look at the first three episodes of Agatha All Along, and also the first two episodes of the new show on Max, The Penguin. We hope you all sincerely enjoy the show. And remember, people, no matter who you are and what you do to live, thrive, and survive, there are still some things that make us all the same. You, me, them, everybody. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the Too Critical Podcast, episode 73. And if you don't like the show, please promptly go fuck yourself. Fantastic. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Too Critical Podcast. Rob, take it away. You're just about to say something about Agatha or the Penguin. It's a 50-50.
No, neither. I think this is the first time we have ever gone to discuss a movie or a show, and we have not spoken one word about our opinion to each other prior. We always say we're going to do it. But we don't, because we get on the phone, we start talking. Yeah. It's like, what'd you think of this? And next thing you know, we go to record an episode, and it's still good, but I already know everything you're going to say. And so right now, I don't know if you like either show, dislike either show. So it's actually nice to get the real reaction, the first opinion out of you, because usually we've already discussed it and we're trying to talk about it on here, but I already know what you're going to say. So which one do you want to talk about first?
It's exciting. Let's do Agatha All Along first. Let's get into that. So
who goes first? You go first or I go first?
Agatha goes first.
Agatha.
Who's been messing up everything?
The covenless witch.
It's been Agatha all along.
No. What really happened to you?
Seekest thou the road to all that's foul and fair?
She took every little bit of power I had.
Gather sisters far.
I'm assembling a coven. We gotta get back on top. I'm gonna walk the road. Join me.
Darkest hour, wake thy power, earthly and divine.
The Witch's Road will give you the thing you want most, if you make it to the end.
The road is a death wish.
Heard you guys were having a party.
What's up?
Hey. Shall we?
It will test us and our knowledge of the craft.
We don't even know what we're up against.
Our worst nightmares.
How do we pass this trial without any power?
We survive like witches have been doing for centuries.
What happens next?
I just need these witches to get me to the end.
The bodies are really piling up.
Why do you let them believe those things about you?
Because the truth is too awful.
I want my prize! Time to finish the road.
Last one there is a nice person.
Follow me, my friend, to glory at the end.
All right, that was the trailer for Agatha All Along.
So, really quick, before we even say our opinions, I have to ask. You said 2. Did you not watch all 3 episodes?
Oh, I did watch 3. I'm sorry. Yeah, I introed the whole thing all wrong.
Just
I watched all 3.
I didn't want to. Yeah, because they released 2 the first. I didn't want to spoil anything for you.
No.
All right, you
that's
first. I
normal.
want to know what you think first.
So, I mean, obviously, you probably know I got a lot of problems with.
We'll get to that.
I don't know the
Aubrey
the
Plaza
fucking-
saying it's going to be the gayest show that Disney's ever
Oh,
done.
I mean, so is she gay in real life?
No,
She's not?
Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. I haven't asked.
I'm just a girl from Long Island City who likes to fuck old people.
I thought she may have been. I don't know why.
It might be a fluid situation.
I think I got influenced by that when I heard it, and then I went in looking intentionally for gay stuff, and then
I thought it was a little strange that before the show came out, her big thing was pushing that like it's going to be the gayest show they've ever done. Like I don't know if that was the goal. Like if they were on set saying like we gotta queer this up as much as possible.
Queered up about 60%.
But so I know that you came in with preconceived ideas, and I did too. But
yeah,
do you like it, and or are you enjoying it?
So, I mean, it's entertaining. So, I understand what they're trying to do when like they started off, and it feels like it's the HBO detective series. They even shot the opening credits to look like HBO and like a little bit of The Walking Dead and stuff, even with like
True Detective.
they were doing like the parody of the music and the graphics, like all of it. Like that stuff was pretty good. I understand like the over the top, like type acting that they're doing and stuff. I think Catherine Hahn is great. Like she's a good actress. She's a good actress.
The one thing I did say to you is that opening episode. I sent you a text. I said, if this isn't fake or
a
Am I on an acid trip? Under a spell. If this is just real, I'm like, this is the worst show I've ever seen. And with the way they did it, it was fine. I was totally okay with it after.
Yeah.
So I will say I am enjoying it more than I expected to. I will also say I don't think it's a particularly great show, but I find myself wanting to watch more episodes when I'm done, and it's not available yet. So that's usually a good barometer for me, is when an episode's over, do I wish I could watch more? And I will say I've been watching it with my 12-year-old daughter. She loves it, which I think she's more their target audience here than I am.
Yeah. Other than spooky faces, there's not a lot that they can't see.
And I'm okay with them doing some things geared more towards young kids. And I think they should do something, Daredevil, it won't be. And I like this a lot more than Miss Marvel, which I think was the last thing that was kind of like target audience was 11 to 13-year-old girls.
Yeah.
This is much more enjoyable. I mean, I watched every episode of Miss Marvel, and it was a chore to do so. Like, if we didn't do a podcast mostly talking about like TV and movie, I can't imagine I would have finished it. I don't think I could have.
Right.
And I think Catherine Hahn's fantastic. Aubrey Plaza, I haven't seen enough yet. I mean, it's obvious she's going to end up being the Green Witch. I mean, you can tell from the tone of the show, and in the trailer, they kind of give that away because they didn't have their Green Witch. What's her name? I always want to call her Kitty from that
70s show.
Yeah, Mrs. Hart.
Right.
So
she's terrific. I
think all of the actresses playing the witches are fantastic. I think the humor is good. They're obviously trying to give us the impression that we don't know his name, but the teen is Agatha's son that she gave up to get the Darkhold. I think it probably is, but they're at least trying to push that. I also wouldn't be surprised if maybe the Green Witch put him under a spell and is trying to make it look like that's her son. Could be either one. I love that they've already mentioned Mephisto, because for all of WandaVision, all we kept saying is, when are we going to get Mephisto?
Exactly.
They've already at least brought him into it.
Right.
I think some of the stuff is, okay at best. I think it's a smart move anytime you can incorporate a song that is catchy, and like it or not, that song is. I've had it stuck in my head many days where I'll be working. And
It's the Eagles. It's Seven Witches Road by the Eagles.
Yeah. So overall, I think I'm going to give this too good of a rating or a grade in my book because I had very low expectations for it. But I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I think it's been a 6.5, 7 so far, which I expected a 4. So
I think is, and that people watched that first episode and they were like probably totally put off by it because they didn't understand.
I think it was really smart that they released 2 episodes.
Yeah, to explain it.
Well, I agree with you. If they released 1, I would have been like, I don't know that I'm going to watch 2. But I thought every episode has been better than the previous, which is a good way to do it. I don't mind a slow build, but if the first episode is so bad, you might not get me for the third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah.
But Catherine Hahn's great. I mean, she's fantastic.
I like that they lean into the goofy shit, like the chief, like the captain was like a dope. You know what I mean? They had he had jelly on his fucking shirt. They're drinking beers. It's all that stereotypical cop bullshit that they were doing. I thought that was funny, as long as
once I knew that it wasn't real.
Yeah.
Once I knew it wasn't real, it was really funny.
Yeah.
No, it was. I think the writing is pretty good. I think the acting is pretty good. I think the comedy has been there. I feel like it's almost like I feel like I'm watching like a Marvel version of Hocus Pocus, which is, I guess, kind of what I would have been looking for out of this.
Yes.
Brilliant to release it in the fall. I never understand why there's not more, and they don't have to be horror. Like, this isn't horror. This is, teen horror at best. 9-year-old girls might be afraid of this, but 16-year-olds aren't.
Yeah.
I never understand why every year there's not something good for every season. Like, a Halloween movie, for years they did it with the Michael Myers stuff.
Yeah. It should be a priority for studios.
Well, there's not, we've talked before, other than straight up, just the horror genre, there's not that many good Halloween movies. Obviously the Halloween franchise, which I'm a victim of being probably one of the biggest fans out there, even though they're mostly horrible.
Hubie Halloween does it for me.
Hubie Halloween is my favorite Halloween movie. It's not even close. It's not close. And I think they're coming out with Hubie Halloween 2 next year.
Oh, I fucking hope so.
I believe they are.
God, I hope so.
I say Marco, you say Polo. Marco, weirdo. Marco, asshole.
Right after they're done Happy Gilmore 2, they'll probably move right into that, which we could do a whole separate episode about that. But Halloween season comes around, especially okay, so if I don't want to watch a slasher movie with my daughter, I have Hocus Pocus, I have Ernest Scared Stupid, I have, this Hubie Halloween. That's a great option. Stranger Things, I thought the second season incorporating Halloween and releasing it in the fall, genius. That was perfect. So I think that they were really smart on the timing of when it's coming out. It fits the season. It's witches, and I think that, again, it's definitely geared more towards younger girls than, males or older. But I don't see any reason that a teenage guy or a guy in their 30s or 40s can't enjoy it. I don't think a lot of 50-year-old men are going to watch this and be like, God damn, I can't wait to see what Agatha does next week. But if you're into Marvel and you like this
son of a bitch, it was Agatha all along.
It's kind of refreshing because the last few things I've been disappointed by. I don't know that I've been as disappointed as everyone. I liked Quantumania, I think, a little more than most people did. I hate that they're just going away from the Kang character. I really like Guardians 3, which I think everyone else did too. Deadpool and Wolverine, which we the fact that we didn't do several episodes about that is crazy. But, you know, I hope that Marvel's gearing back into the right direction. I think the fact that this show is at least enjoyable is a nice surprise, because I was like, this is the next thing we get. It's Agatha All Along. Like, we don't get, a big Daredevil. Yeah. Daredevil would have been like something I was pushing for next. And obviously they've done reshoots and rewrites and everything with that show, which I'm fine with. If that's what it needs, do it. I'd rather that than just putting it out. But it's funny that we're talking about the Penguin and Agatha, because they're like such far ends of the spectrum where, like, I can't let my daughter watch the Penguin. It is absolutely geared. You know, I wouldn't say that's skewed male, but it's skewed heavily adult. Like, yes. You can't. Yeah. So, you know, we can keep talking about this, or we can go into the Penguin, but it is funny that the 2 episodes we decided to come back with, one from DC, one from Marvel, one geared young girls, one, super violent and says fuck all the time. Yeah. So it's up to you if you want to keep going on this or come back to this, but whatever you want to do.
So, overall, I think the show is decent. I think Catherine Hahn is a strong actress. I like that they put her in different scenarios so you can see, the range that she has, which I'm sure as an actress, you would want that in a show, not just playing the same dumb thing over and over and over again. Visually, I think the show is really cool, especially the way that the show has to vacillate between, like, when they do almost like those cutscenes, those dream sequences, like right in the middle of what you're doing, like that they can flip the camera around and all of a sudden
it was Nightmare on Elm Street-esque.
Yeah,
almost.
The lighting change, but it's like the same set, and they make it look like it's a lot of like live cuts, a lot of like sleight of hand stuff, and I don't know. I think it's harmless. To me, it's harmless. It's entertaining. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll be rewatching it every year.
Yeah,
I could see. But how many episodes is this? 6? I think it's only 6.
9,
is
I
it
think.
9?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, I could see this being something where, next year in the fall, if I'm looking for a Halloween-ish thing to watch, I could see me sitting down with my daughter and watching it again. At least so far. Again, we're a third of the way there, so we'll see how they get there and how they land the plane. But overall, I was surprised at how much I liked it.
Yes, I agree. It was entertaining. I'll watch it if it's gonna draw a line between another Marvel project. Fantastic, so be it. The
only thing I can think of is maybe something with Scarlet Witch coming back, or depending on what they're gonna do with Mephisto, because apparently Marvel's saying the whole multiverse saga is gonna end after Secret Wars. So maybe this may be paid off in Doctor Strange 3.
Yeah.
It also may not get paid off.
Right. And it doesn't matter what we say, because it's getting hammered in the reviews, and who knows what they're going to do. And look what Disney did after season 1 of The Acolyte. They pulled the plug on that very quickly. I don't know. Who knows?
I'm surprised how much I liked it. A lot of critics were pretty hard on it from the stuff I was reading. So, and I read some of that stuff before I watched it. So I came into this expecting to dislike it, and I kind of did in episode 1.
Yeah.
But then again, by the time episode 2 ended, I was like, okay, I'll definitely watch next week.
Yeah.
And by the time this one ended, literally it ended, I was like, did they release 2 again this week? Like I went right away to see if I could watch one more. So,
right.
A surprising, solid watch.
If you weren't expecting anything, and if you weren't aware of the comics, I'm sure there's people out there that are screaming because someone is
not accurate or
whatever. Right. They've deviated from something in the comics, whatever. But
if we do everything by the comics, you'll never be surprised by anything. Like if every Avengers comic ended with Tony Stark, sacrificing himself,
Tony Stank.
Yeah, then it wouldn't have been meaningful in Endgame when he did. So
right. We're enjoying it. To us muggles, it seems harmless.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Feliz cumpleaños. All right, we're going to do a quick ad break right now from one of our sponsors and one of our very good friends, Dream Killer Cosplay. Dream Killer Cosplay has made appearances all across the country at high-profile venues and conventions, and has collaborated and appeared with many cast members from the Nightmare on Elm Street films. Dream Killer Cosplay frequently performs in private events, marketing videos, and social media campaigns, and brings his passionate style and skill set that enhances each individual project. Dream Killer Cosplay is available for all of your special need events. Simply send a message to dreamkillercosplay@gmail.com. Dream Killer Cosplay, New England's premier Freddy Krueger impersonator and cosplay performer. Please check out Dream Killer Cosplay at the Chocolate Expo in Manchester, New Hampshire at the Doubletree on Elm Street.
What I thought the Chocolate Expo was.
need a little explain. October 13th from was it 2 to 6? 4 to 6? I don't know. Go to the Doubletree, go to chocolateexpo.com. They're on Facebook as well. Chocolate from all over the world. Lots of stuff for the kids to do, but Dream Killer Cosplay will be there as your favorite character from Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger, or as Rob knows him, the camp counselor from Crystal Lake.
Yes, I do confuse those two movies.
All right, let's get into our second watch, which is The Penguin on HBO Max, currently right now, starring Colin Ferrel.
When I was a kid, there was a gangster, real old school type, Rex Calabrese. He was a big deal. He helped people. He saw you on the street, he'd call out to you. When I'm 14 or something, he has a heart attack and dies. Still holding a cigar. In my neighborhood, they throw a parade in his honor. A friggin' parade. I mean, it wasn't fancy, but it was a gesture. To show love for what he meant. Can you imagine to be remembered like that?
That was the trailer for The Penguin. So The Penguin has dropped 2 episodes. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I think Colin Ferrel is absolutely sensational. I keep having to tell myself that it's him. I keep forgetting that it's him. It seems seamless how they ended. I went back and watched The Batman a couple nights ago, and I liked The Batman better watching it for the second time. I don't know why. I just put fresh eyes on it, I guess. I also laughed my ass off again when when Alfred was in the
cufflinks.
Yeah, I said, please give me back my cufflinks. I explained that whole scenario to my wife. She did not find it as funny as we did at the time. But
most people don't ever find anything that we think is funny.
Oh, god damn. That was terrific. But yeah, I thought it was much better the second time around.
I hate when we agree. It's so much more fun when we can argue. I rewatched The Batman because so for those that don't know, I was sick for about a month. I had pneumonia. So I rewatched every movie and watched a ton of new ones that I shouldn't have, and some good ones, but I mean I went down some rabbit holes. I watched like 4 or 5 movies a day because I couldn't leave bed. And I rewatched The Batman like 2 weeks ago. Coincidental. I didn't do it because of The Penguin. But I've seen it now 5 times, maybe 6 times.
Yeah.
Every time I like it more. Every single time. I like the detail. I still don't love Pattinson's Bruce Wayne, but I think he's such a good Batman in the suit.
Right.
I love the Riddler as a villain. I like the storyline. I hate to admit this, but DC is doing what I have said forever that Marvel should use Disney Plus to do, which is The Penguin would be a horrible idea for a movie. It's too much. It's something that doesn't need to be crammed into a 2-hour film. And I don't think the story would flow. I think DC is so smart, and I think they should do this hopefully moving forward with other villains or new characters. And I've said this forever, even about heroes in Marvel, is they shouldn't show up on the big screen. We should get a series, because then you can get into all the detail and nuance, and we won't get bogged down with it like you would in a 3-hour movie. And you can really, I don't want to say drag it out, because I don't think they're dragging it out for the sake of it, but you can give so much more backstory to the Falcones and the mob and Salvatore Maroni and everything that's going on, on the villain side. Because we always say, like, I don't need to hear the whole villain's backstory, oh, everyone's not a bad guy. But in this, I like it. And I think it's great because I'm assuming the Penguin is at least going to be a decent sized part, if not an integral part of the Batman Part 2. And now we'll have, because even in the first one, we're like, okay, that's the Penguin, but like, we don't know anything about him. Like, we know he's Oswald Cobblepot. We know they call him Oz. And, the whole thing about his nickname being the Penguin. I love the little details, like how many times before you saw that deformed foot that you saw the little piece of metal in his shoe with his gimp walk. What a good fake walk he does. The waddle. It's so good. And Colin Ferrel, someone who historically I am not a huge fan of.
Correct.
He's done some things that I like. I actually really think that SWAT movie is pretty decent for like a cheesy military movie.
I agree.
I like SWAT. But other than that, I mean, I actually like the Banshees of Inisherin also. Very wildly different.
Yeah, in Bruges. I liked him in Bruges. But that was also after he found himself. Like, I think he's a guy that got thrust into Hollywood.
A little too big, too fast.
He was young. He was handsome.
Every role he could get.
He was on drugs. I think whoever they are, they kind of destroyed him very quickly and burnt him out. But now that he's kind of, got that all out of his system.
Now he's respected and he can just do things he wants to.
Correct.
And this is, what a great job they do with the prosthetics on it. But like, even just like, he's so good with the voice.
Oh my God.
I will say, I hate the stuff with his mother. I hate that they're trying to make him look like a good guy. We talk about it all the time. Like, oh, even the bad guys aren't all that, but I hate that shit sometimes.
Yeah.
And I don't actually like hate the stuff with his mother. I just don't jam it down my throat that he's a good guy. Just let him be a bad guy.
So, he still always is a bad guy. The mom is probably, seems pretty bad too. She's clearly manipulative. But like a lot of that stuff goes back to like, the 40s gangsters films where
they always
their
mother.
Yeah. They were always.
I gotta go to my mother's on Sunday for dinner.
Right.
Yeah. For supper.
They would catch those guys at their mother's house.
Always.
You know. So I know there's a lot of that.
I will say he is like the dumbest smart villain I've ever seen. Like like every time I'm like, idiot's about to get busted. He does talk his way out of it. He's got the silver tongue when he needs to.
So
I do like the stuff with Vic, the kid that he catches, stealing his tires. I love that he like recruits him.
Yeah.
And he's almost killed him like 3 times now. Like
I thought it was great when he first had him in the car and they were talking about like, they're talking about like murder and like dismembering people and stuff like that. And he got grossed out by it. Like Oswald got grossed out by it.
But then he gets mad at him when he doesn't want to cut someone's head off.
Yeah. That's so great.
And when the kids dig in the grave and then he kicks him in the back, you're like, okay, he's going to kill him and bury him here too. But he's not going to kill him. Like and what's the girl's name that plays Sophia? Is it Christina Milioti? Is that the actress's name? She's been in a million things. She was one of the love interests in How I Met Your Mother. I think it's Christina Milioti. I think
Christina Milioti. That's correct.
She's really good.
She's terrific and very scary. Very convincing.
I haven't seen enough about the Salvatore Maroni character to know if I like the actor playing him yet. So far, so good. I like the people in the Falcone family so far. I thought Alberto, great actor choice there, the kid from Marvelous Miss Maisel, to make him like kind of the dopey son that thinks he's going to take over and he's like killed within 30 seconds.
Right. So Salvatore Maroni is Clancy Brown. That's the guy from The Highlander. He's been in.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
I'm
just saying the character itself, like.
Yeah.
I think it's strange that like I know he's in Blackgate Prison, but like when the second time the Penguin goes there and like he's got like 40 people in the room, like I know he's like a mob boss, but like how does he have access to that? I thought after what happened in the Batman, like kind of the cops were going clean. Obviously, not all of them are.
Well, it's an island.
Do you think the Batman will show up in this show? Because one of the things. one of the things I've been thinking this whole time is all the times that there's like murder and stuff and they're doing stuff in the streets. I'm like, wouldn't Batman have caught on to this by now?
Well, so I think
it is directly in the aftermath and he's hurting.
Like almost within days.
Yeah,
like
because he took whatever 5,000 volts to the chest.
Yeah,
fell down. Although he did go on a motorcycle ride with Zoe Kravitz. At the end
multiple shotgun rounds to the chest.
So what's interesting is in the Batman, the Zoe Kravitz character, Selena Kyle, she's Carmine's daughter. So it's funny because then you think about it, in Christina Milioti, the Sophia character, that's her sister.
Right.
So I don't know if I also wondered if maybe she would show up in the show at some point and kind of stake her claim to like, hey, I was his daughter too. I don't think they're going to do that. But it is every now and then I found myself saying like, so that's Catwoman's sister. So
you said two things. You said one, you don't think that the Penguin could stand on his own as a feature film, right? And then you said you also like that he's like the dumbest smart guy, right? Like when you think something's he like figures a way out, right? I would say it's very much like what the hell's the name of the movie? With Kevin Spacey, The Usual Suspects.
Oh yeah, Kaiser Soze.
So Kevin Spacey would would be like the Oswald Cobblepot, type role where that guy talks his way out of everything, and then there's like kind of that ultimate twist at the end where he gets away, scot free.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing the fact that it's the Penguin, eventually I don't know that he's going to come out on top, but whether it's the Maronis or the Falcone, like I feel like obviously like they're not going to end, the show's not going to end with him dead or in jail. Maybe in jail, like they could break him out. That's not that hard to do. Batman does that all the time. Maybe he ends up in Arkham where the Riddler is. I love that they referenced the Riddler. I love that. I'm happy that they brought that in because I think it was the Penguin,
bartender, right? The bartender said
oh, that's right. Someone was complaining because they couldn't get drops, and he said, "Thank the Riddler."
Cop. Yeah.
But yeah, like every time he has a plan, like okay, I'm gonna have the kid stash the jewels in the car, and then I'm gonna break this kid out because I'm gonna have him tell them that Vidi did it, and then he's like, can't do it, and takes the knife out and kills the guy. Yeah. And I love the twist because you think he's gonna plant the knife on him.
I love it too. That was terrific. It was the obvious choice. Good for them.
Yep, I'm happy with it. This I had way higher expectations than Agatha All Along, just because I really like the Batman and Colin Ferrell. He stole the show in the Batman, and even like you said, rewatching it, I really like the Riddler. I thought Paul Dano was awesome. Yeah, I really like Pattinson in the suit as Batman.
Yes,
but the best part of that movie is Colin Ferrell. I mean, he's unbelievable as the Penguin.
So I was noticing like even in like the group scenes at like Falcone's place.
Yeah.
They would do these scenes where like they're playing pool and they're shooting Colin Farrell's back, which it's kind of sacrilegious if that's one of your leads, but he wasn't playing a lead. He was playing like a 10th.
It was like the setup. Like
and like they would shoot his back, you'd hear his voice, and then like it's just a quick shot. He turns and he says something to Bruce Wayne, and then they leave. They don't give him a close-up, they don't give him a cutaway, nothing. They treat him like one of the regular guys that's just in the room, right? But I don't think they did that intentionally, knowing that they were going to go on to the Penguin.
No, I think he was so good he forced their hand.
Well, I think it was John Turturro didn't even know Colin Farrell was in the movie.
I can't get over that. And I believe it. I 100% believe it.
Right.
I also remember when they cast Colin Ferrell to play the Penguin.
Yeah.
I was just like, what?
Exactly.
I mean, and listen, I've been wrong before. When they cast Heath Ledger to play the Joker, I thought the same thing.
Right.
And I know everyone that hears, oh, well, you're an idiot. Well, no, at the time, go back and look at what he had done. Like, he did nothing that told us that he could play like a maniacal, evil Joker. And it was one of the best casting choices ever.
Yeah.
And I think this is right up there with it. I mean, he is so good as the Penguin. And it's so stunning to me, the transformation.
When he was getting tortured in episode 1.
Oh, my God, under the armpit.
Full suit.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus Christ.
I can't believe Colin Farrell got talked into taking this role, if we're being honest. Like, if they said, you're going to have to wear all this prosthetic on your face, you're going to have to wear a fat suit. It's one thing in the Batman to do it because he was probably only on screen for 15 minutes. I mean, the car chase and the interrogation scene.
Good scenes.
But that was really it. I mean, other than that, a couple things in the club, but like, I'm just surprised. And I get after the success of it and how much everyone loved him doing it, like how he came back to do the show now.
Yeah.
But, when they announced that it was him, I was like floored. Like he would have been the last person I would have picked to play the Penguin.
Right. When they did the shot at the end of the Batman where the Penguin is in Falcone's and he's looking out the window to the city's all
you can tell like, okay, right? I'm taking this over now.
And they're setting that up. So if that was intentional, I totally get it. You could see how they probably floated him through the Batman and said, listen, you're going to play this guy. He's going to be in the background. We're going to subvert everybody's expectations. And then we're going to set the table for this thing. You're going to come in. We're going to do the series. You're going to be the big baddie in part 2. Like you're going to elevate, throughout.
And I don't think he is the big baddie in part 2.
He probably isn't.
No, which I think it'd be a great setup if they do the show to lead into part 2. He's the primary villain for the first third of the Batman part 2.
Yeah.
And then after Batman takes him down, it's almost like this one, right? Like they had, the whole time the Batman was trying to solve this and figure everything out and who the Rata Alada was. And then you have to go deal with the Joker and then the Riddler. And then you finish the Riddler off and you go, okay, it's over. And then there's Riddler's army. I could see them doing something like that where it's like, okay, the Penguin's the big bad. He's taken care of, and we're looking at the clock going, there's an hour and a half left. So like, what's going to happen now?
But
whether it's the Court of Owls or, if the Joker comes into it or whatever, I'm just excited to see what they're going to choose to do next. I so desperately want them to do Mr. Freeze just because I want to see another adaptation of it other than Schwarzenegger, especially if it's a dark one like this. And I know
by dark one, you mean
like a darker, less cartoonish version of Mr. Like this, the Batman's a little bit darker than the older ones, right?
Right.
I know your buddy Mitch,
your
good friend Uncle Mitch,
said
that he thought that the show wasn't good and it's just them saying fuck all the time. I have always wanted to see, especially Batman, more than like any other show, done like an adult thing, and especially for the villains. These are mob bosses. What you want mob bosses to like have tea? Like, what do we?
So not everything can be Burgess Meredith.
How dare you mock me on the eve of my greatest triumph?
Chomping on a cigarillo, running around with crazy prank umbrellas, being goofy and campy with the camera canted at 45 degrees. Like you can't.
Looks like Chuck's gonna bury his boner.
You know what? Listen, we say this all the time. There's something for everybody, right? If you want to watch the campy, goofy stuff, then watch the Danny DeVito stuff. But
I mean, he literally posted online that he was upset at how often they said fuck.
Yeah, I don't understand that. You know that I prefer to sit down and watch something and be immersed as an adult in something. Like I don't like the bullshit. Like you can imagine I guess that's got to be part of the success of Deadpool and Wolverine. The fact that you can go and you can see that same level of action detail.
A guy like Mitch who loved Deadpool and Wolverine can't bitch about them saying fuck in the Penguin. Pick a lane, pal. I get that a lot of the purists are like, oh, the comics weren't like that. It's like, this isn't the comics. It's a different adaptation of it. We've seen it done multiple ways. Matt Reeves is going in a different direction. We thought that Christopher Nolan made things like super dark, with the Joker and the way he did stuff. I think Batman villains should be dark and evil. And yeah, I'm sure eventually he'll have one that's, less like that. If every villain is just like the darkest, broodiest version of them, eventually it's like, okay, dude, we get your formula.
Right.
But like so far, the Penguin's not even really that. The Riddler was for sure, no doubt. But he wasn't like swearing. It wasn't over the top. But I thought it was so funny when I saw his post on Facebook complaining about the fact that they said fuck all the time. I was just like, this is Goodfellas. That's what this is supposed like. This is a Batman villain version of Goodfellas. That's what we're watching. This is The Godfather. This is the crime families fighting for power, someone trying to backstab the other. Like, I don't understand the
which is
complaints
strange
about it.
because in the comics, I mean, and the only ones that I predominantly read were the Batman comics, is that it's gang warfare every single episode and just people, killing people.
Even in the animated stuff, the Long Halloween, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff with that. So I don't know. I think the Penguin's great. I like this more than Agatha for sure.
Yes.
It's also more geared towards me.
Right.
And I was looking forward to this much more than it. What night does it come out? Saturday nights or Friday nights?
Are you talking about
Penguin? Friday nights?
Sunday nights.
Is it Sunday?
Oh, I thought it was Sunday nights.
I think it's Saturday, actually.
Really?
It says online, if you Google it, new episodes air on Sundays.
Oh.
But when I first Google it, it shows episodes, and you can see right there the date. But it says a Thursday, a Saturday, and a Sunday, so that can't be right. So it's Sunday nights. Makes sense. HBO Sunday night programming.
Right. And everyone's gonna make the comparison to The Sopranos because it's organized crime. It's New York City. It's gritty. I understand the comparison to that, but all those other comics came before the fucking Sopranos.
Right.
So
not for nothing, if he was alive, I would have thought Gandolfini would have been a better choice for the Penguin than Colin Farrell, and I would have been wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, what does Colin Farrell weigh in real life? $185?
Yeah, he's skinny. Super.
Yeah, he's
skinny.
not a big guy at all.
But that's what acting is. You're subverting what people are seeing, so they're not going to get the handsome guy to play the handsome guy. They're going to get the guy to play the monster, the sociopath. Like he's taking chances and it's paying off. I love seeing that. I love seeing that actually happen.
Come on, what are you showing me?
I'll spray paint your ass.
I'll spray paint your ass.
Still one of the best lines.
I got you. I nearly got you. So good.
He's terrific. I love his little fucking Mac 10 that he pulls out in every fucking scene. It's good.
Oh man.
No, I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to see more. I hope
it's good that we have two things that we're watching because I don't know what's coming next. What's the next thing? Stranger Things isn't coming out till 2072.
Good Lord.
I hope it's good, man. I really hope the finale version is good.
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine comes out on Disney Plus in like a week.
Yeah.
So that's good. I don't know. Are there any other shows coming out anytime soon? Or movies?
I started watching something else, but of course
Marvel doesn't have anything till next year, right? For movies. What'd you think about the trailer for Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts? I don't know. You know what? I'm a
Michael Bolton fan.
Michael Bolton
I enjoy the old man's entire catalog.
Yeah. What's his name? Wyatt Russell. I fucking love Wyatt Russell.
Yeah.
I love him.
U.S. agent.
When I saw his character in this, I was like, first of all, I was rooting for U.S. agent in Falcon Winter Soldier. I just was. I can't tell you enough how much Falcon is a fucking C-list movie star. Anthony Mackie is a C-list movie star. He's one of the luckiest guys in Hollywood.
We'll find out next year.
He was in a trailer for another fucking movie yesterday.
We'll find out
some big action thing.
We'll find out next year.
I'm like,
Captain America 4 comes out.
The guy doesn't set 1 foot in the gym. Not 1 foot. It's amazing. And all he does is talk shit about everybody else's projects. Very lucky. Very lucky.
Did you see the thing where he said, I'm going to make Tom Holland come sit next to me at the premiere because he said there'll never be a Falcon movie?
Yeah. There still isn't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And he talks online like Harrison Ford's his best friend.
Harrison Ford has called him the N-word behind his back no less than 300 times.
You sure about that?
I have no doubt in my mind.
Oh, hell.
God damn it. And he better enjoy it because Chris Evans is going to be back within like 2 years. So enjoy the ride, kid, because it's your last chance.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's been good as
he's a placeholder.
The character. I have no issue with him as the character. He's been fine in all the movies. He was better as a side character. I don't think he's a great, he's not a lead.
No.
I think Sebastian Stan's way more of a lead than he is.
100%. 100%. We should be watching all Sebastian Stan films.
But not for nothing. If Falcon and the Winter Soldier came out in 1992, Bucky would have been the one that became Captain America because he has the super soldier serum. He was Steve's best friend since childhood. I'm not trying to make this racial, but if this happened in 1992, Bucky becomes Captain America, not Falcon. Yeah. And I understand that in some of the comics, it happens both ways.
Right.
So it's not like they just retconned it. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But he's a better choice for it. He's the more charismatic actor. And I hate the fact that the new Captain America, he has no special abilities whatsoever.
Yes. Right.
If you rip his tech away, he has nothing.
Right. And U.S. Agent has the serum.
U.S. Agent or Bucky is a much more suitable option as the Captain America character.
So again, U.S. Agent was murdering terrorists, and Anthony Mackie is the guy that says at the end, "Don't call them terrorists." After they were blowing up fucking buildings,
you label them as it, whatever.
Got it. I know what team I'm on.
Yeah,
I know what team I'm on. Yeah. Speaking of trying to subvert the fucking audience, that's exactly what's happening in that project. I don't know. I hope it's good. I'm interested to see what
Harrison Ford live do. Premiere.
Dude, I don't know. They're starting to shoot the next season of 1923 too, so they're going to be
Shrinking season 2 comes out soon too.
They're going to be putting him on a horse again, so fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who are they going to make glue first?
What was the other trailer? There's another trailer that just came out too.
An Airstream. Beautiful. 26-footer. Yeah.
What the hell was it? Was it Marvel?
You in that rocking chair. That is something. You're like, what's that trailer that came out?
What's that old trailer for that picture coming out?
Good Lord.
I don't know what made me choose the rocking chair. I have no idea.
You got no cats. Seems like a safe option.
This is like my wife's grandmother's rocking chair from when her great grandmother
Well, she wasn't that great, but
she was a decent grandmother.
Yeah.
Her mediocre grandmother used to rock.
You were a medium grandmother. A medium grandmother.
A medium talent.
A medium nana.
No, what the hell? I saw another trailer for something like yesterday, and I almost sent it to you, and I was like, "Oh, I'll talk to him about it on this." And I don't remember what the hell it was. Dead air.
You sure about that?
I'm sure about that.
You've got a new favorite toy, I have found.
Yeah. I tried to program a bunch of them.
Yeah.
You
should have done that one.
Yeah, oh fuck.
You should have done that one.
Damn it. All right, I'll cue them up. I only worked on it for about 6 hours.
You're not done yet.
You sure, Brendan? So that does it. Check out Agatha All Along. It's a decent watch. If you like it, great. If you don't, go fuck yourself.
And watch The Penguin, but not with your kids.
The Penguin is exceptional. I think it's exceptional. Colin Ferrel is terrific. It's shot well. It looks great. It fits in perfectly with like Matt Reeves' universe. If they can give this guy, get him a little money and give him a little more leeway, I think he could actually build upon that and actually crank out something that could, give the Marvel movies a run for their money. He's got a long way to go, but it's
even rival Nolan. I mean, I'm not saying he's there yet, but good start. Batman Begins wasn't amazing. I don't think the Batman was worse than Batman Begins.
No, and this Matt Reeves' Batman is way more grounded than the Christopher Nolan films.
Yeah,
I didn't even think that was possible.
Ishmael's in it.
That's right. So that's it, everybody. Please remember to like and subscribe. Check us out wherever podcasts are sold, and we will see you again on the flippity flip. Thank you for watching the Too Critical Podcast. I'm Thomas. This is Rob. Bye-bye, Rob. Glad that you're feeling better.
Sort of.
See you soon. Enjoy your rocking chair.
I got you! You sure about that?
I'll spray paint your ass. Oh, or we should do a shitty YouTube like bumper that they always do, right? Hey guys, if you like the podcast, make sure you click and subscribe in the link. If not, go fuck your mother. Hey guys, I'm Tom. Don't jump on my audio. Hey guys. You fuck. It's like a herd of elephants. Here we go. Hey guys, I'm Thomas and that's Rob, and this is the Too Critical Podcast. Click below and subscribe. Hit that like button. Smash that like button like a neighbor is smashing your mom, okay? And if you don't like the show,
go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Exactly.